and good morning. Welcome. Saturday morning with Shangri-La Hot Yoga and me, Melissa. We will be doing a fusion today. So fusion, we flow vinyasa style with the first half. And in the second half, we slow it down a little bit and we kind of hold things a little bit longer, doing a little bit more balance and strength and flexibility. And as always, take this as your own practice. I don't really call for a lot of breaks, so if you need to, take a second, drink some water, come to child's pose, modify your chaturangas or take them out altogether if you're not feeling those today. Just do it for your own level. And today might be feeling a little bit different than yesterday, so just listening to where you're at in this present moment. And we are working on heart openers. Heart openers are back bends. And I want to make sure that we're keeping our back bends in our upper back. So we want to protect that low back by keeping the navel nice and tight and engaging the core. So every time we're bending backwards, we're lifting up first and elongating, and then we're bending from the upper back, the shoulders, making sure we're taking that weight out of our low back just to avoid any injury. And we're going to get started in a child's pose. Whatever child's pose is good for you. You can have the knees together. You can have the knees out nice and wide. And then reach the arms long in front of you and lengthen the spine. Big toes touch. Press the heels or the hips back towards the heels. And reach the arms nice and long. Lengthen through the fingertips. You can allow the forehead to soften down and maybe rock the head back and forth, finding a little massage. And pausing with your natural breath to begin. Maybe just noticing their inhales and exhales as they come in and leave your body. Not controlling anything here yet. You can take little rocks back and forth. Just finding soft movements into the body. Settling in, noticing where you're feeling tight. What do you need from these 60 minutes on your mat? And then pausing in stillness. And taking a deep breath in through your nose, filling up all the way, the belly, the chest. Open the mouth, sigh it out. We'll do it 2 more times. Full breath in. Big breath out. Last inhale. Exhale, let it go. From here, close the lips. Start to breathe in and out through your nose. You can take a slight constriction to the back of your throat for your ujjayi breath if that's part of your practice. And just a fancy word for ocean sounding breath because you're constricting and you're going to make some noise with your breath. And the purpose of our ujjayi is to help us build a little bit of heat in our body. Also keep our awareness on our bodies, our mat. It's really tempting to let our mind wander, especially when we're holding poses a little bit longer. So using that ujjayi breath to bring us back to the present moment. Try to make the inhales nice and deep. The exhales nice and long. With your next breath in, press up to your tabletop. Walk the knees in towards each other. And then we're just going to let the hips come back towards the heels, coming to our hero's pose. If this is uncomfortable in your knees, you're more than welcome to take a cross-legged seat instead, or you can always grab a block and place it underneath the glutes for support. So just see how this feels here. Finding a nice little stretch through our quads. When we're doing heart opening, it's not all back bending. We want to be stretching out our hip flexors, our quads. That's going to help us get a little bit deeper into our back bends. So from here, we're going to inhale to reach the hands nice and high, lengthen up. Exhale, right hand's going to come down to the mat. Come into a little side body stretch. Try to root that left hip down. Notice if it's tempted to lift up. Reach up and over. Lengthen through the left side. Inhale, sweep up to the center. Exhale, left hand comes down. Reaching up. Bicep is alongside the ear and then reach over. So it's always up before over. We're gonna find some length with our breath in. And then deepen into the stretch with our breath out. Inhale, lengthen high. We're gonna do that breath movement a couple times. Exhale, right side. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, sweep up. One more time, exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lift. Inhale, come to center. Hands come to heart center. We're going to come into a little bit of a back bend, a little bit of a quad stretch. We're not going to go super deep here, right? Because we're still early on. So you can stay here if this feels comfortable. If you want to come a little bit deeper and you want to open up that heart a little bit, just walk the hands behind you. Fingertips are pointing back. And then open up the heart. So roll the shoulders back. Try to press the heart towards the ceiling. Maybe you slightly lift the gaze as well if that feels okay here. So this is a nice stretch through the quads, through the shoulders, and just a little baby back bend just to start preparing our spine. Not going any farther than here because we're still early on in our practice, right? So we don't want to push ourselves too early when our muscles aren't ready, when they're not open. One more breath. And then start to walk yourself back in. From here, we're going to inhale to lift up onto our shins, reaching high. So if you're in that cross-legged seat, come onto the shins and lift up. So we're stacking everything on top of our knees. We're pressing down through the tops of the feet. Maybe if you want support, you can tuck the toes if that feels good. Inhale, reach up, lengthen the arms. Exhale, cactus arms, open the chest. You can lift the gaze here. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Remember, keeping that navel pulled in. Core nice and tight to protect our low back, keeping length. Inhale, reach nice and high. Exhale, we're going to start to lower the hips towards the heels. You can keep the arms long or you can sweep them behind you and allow the head to soften down towards the ground. So we're just rounding into a nice little ball here, into our embryo pose. And try to round the spine up towards the ceiling. So press the spine up. And we're going to flow through that breath to movement. So with an inhale, start to lift up, rise up onto the shins, reach the hands high. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl the spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hug the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, embryo. One more time. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round. Pausing here for an extra breath, pressing the spine up. Good. This time, we're going to place the hands in front of us. We're going to come through our tabletop. Tuck your toes. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Lift the hips high to your first downward facing dog. Start to pedal it out. Bend into one knee and then the other. Opening up the back side of the legs. Maybe you nod the head yes and no. If the neck feels tight and you want to take some movement there as well. So it's taking movements, right? Not focusing on how we're looking here. Maybe you're looking a little silly. Maybe you're dancing a little bit. Maybe you have your own music on in the background. And you're just trying to find that movement that feels good here to begin. So anything that feels right in your body. No movement that's right or wrong. And then eventually we'll settle into stillness when you feel ready. Try to press the weight into the fingertips. So notice we can get those knuckles to lift slightly, finding those little spider fingers. That helps to take the weight out of our wrists. Pull the navel in towards the spine. Keep a soft bend in the knees, but press the heels towards the mat to find that stretch down the back side of the legs. One more full breath. Good. Inhale, look forward. Bend the knees a little bit more. Exhale, slowly step the feet up to the hands to your forward fold. Walk the feet out to hips width apart, at least to begin. You can always bring them more narrow later on. Inhale, halfway lift, hands meet shins. Or maybe reach through the crown of the head. Exhale, fold forward. Pause right here. Keep that generous bend in your knees. Maybe bend them a little bit more. Hands come to opposite elbows and ragdoll it out. So just sway back and forth. Find some movement, bending into one knee and then the other. Swaying back and forth. Maybe you move the head, stretch out the neck a little bit more. A nice release on the low back. So if you have low back pain, this is my favorite pose to release that. We'll come back to center. Hands come down to the mat. Keep bending the knees. Inhale, slowly roll the spine up to standing, one vertebra at a time. Feeling every single movement as you lift. Coming up to our mountain pose. So in mountain pose, we're going to roll those shoulders back and together. Open up the chest. Hands, palms open. And reach the fingertips down towards the ground. And we're going to do a little bit of shoulder stretching. So inhale, reach the hands up towards the ceiling. Exhale, reach them back, open up the chest, and then bring them back down into your mountain pose. Do that a couple more times. Inhale, lengthen high. Exhale, sweep it open. One more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come up to that high mountain. Exhale, cactus the arms, open the chest. So just like we did when we were on our shins, right? Making sure we're keeping those ribs pulling in. Nice long low back. We're using the upper back to come into that stretch. Inhale, reach up high. We're going to do that a couple more times. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, fold forward. Keep that soft bend in your knees as you fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees so you can plant the palms onto the mat. Inhale, step the feet back to your first high plank, but lower the knees down. So find some support here with our first plank. I like to find our supported plank for the first one just because it helps us find our form a little bit better. So just making sure that the shoulders are right above the wrists. You're pressing away. We're keeping strength in our shoulders. So just noticing that difference from me jumping down and pressing and strengthening. We really want to keep that nice strength here. Pull the navel in. Inhale, shift slightly forward. Exhale, bend the elbows. Hug them in as tight as possible. So don't let them come out wide. Hug them in tight and lower all the way down as slow as you can. If toes are tucked, untuck the toes. Press the shoelace side of your feet into the ground. Maybe the knees lift. Inhale, lift the chest up, little baby cobra. Squeeze the elbows in, keep the gaze down. So imagine that you want to touch the crown of the head to the front of the room. Pointing the toes as much as you can, engaging the legs, squeeze the glutes. Inhale, lift up a little higher. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, rise up, baby cobra. So this time we're going to give an option to add on. So if you want to have a little bit of challenge, you can try to lift the palms, fully using the upper back to lift the chest. Keep the gaze towards the ground. Squeeze those shoulders together, using the upper body to lift up. Big breath in. Breath out, lower. All right, this time your choice, baby cobra or full. Press into the palms. Inhale, lift up. Coming to that full cobra if you're ready. If you're in full cobra, we're not finding straight arms because straight arms are going to make those shoulders come towards the ears. Keep a soft bend in the elbows and just notice how that helps you roll the shoulders back and down and open up the chest a little bit more. Good, pausing here. Maybe you look over one shoulder and then the other. Then come back to center. Inhale here. Exhale, lower. All right, tucking our toes here. You can come through tabletop for support. I'm going to show you a way to find a little bit of activity. So fire up the thighs. Press the palms into the mat. Roll the shoulders back. And with a breath in, you're going to come up to your high plank. So you're pressing away. You're keeping one long line. If you need to, you can come through tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift the hips high. All right, we're going to move through that faster. We want to get our heart rate going. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. One big movement. Inhale, rise up, high mountain. Exhale, arms sweep back and open. Find that shoulder stretch. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach up. This time, exhale, cactus. Inhale, extend. Exhale, hug. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, fold forward. Soften the knees as you fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Good, we're going to work on our full chaturanga. Plank the palms. Inhale, step back to your high plank. You can keep the knees lifted. If you need to, lower them down, just like we did the first time. If knees are lifted, heels high above the toes. Inhale, shift slightly forward. Exhale, bend the elbows, hug them in lower half or all the way, chaturanga. Inhale, open up the chest, cobra or upward facing dog. For upward dog, the tops of the feet, the hands are down, everything else is lifting up. Exhale, lift the hips high, downward facing dog. Roll over the knees or the toes. Remember, modify those chaturangas. Use your knees. Find your baby cobra if it feels better than your full cobra or your upward dog. Or skip them if you're ever feeling over it. Inhale, soften the knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep it high. Exhale, open up the arms. We're just going to go one more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, cactus, just 2 times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hug. Inhale, extend. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Listen carefully here. Exhale, fold. Right foot stays forward. Inhale, left foot steps to the back of the mat. Lower the knee down. So come to that supported lunge, that low lunge. You can untuck the toes with the back foot. Make sure the knee is right above or slightly behind the ankle. So if it's coming in front, walk that foot forward. Squeeze the glutes for support. Inhale, rise up. Come to your low crescent. Settle into that front thigh. So it's a nice hip flexor stretch for that back leg. So try to press nice and low into that stretch. Hug the hips in towards center. Find that stability here. Pull the ribs towards each other. And then reach high. Full breath in, lengthen slightly out of the thigh. Breath out, bend in cactus arms, open the chest. Pausing for a full breath. Come a little bit deeper. Good, breath to movement. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lunge. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come up to the low crescent. Exhale, frame the foot. Tuck your back toes, lift the knee up. Inhale, step your right foot back, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga of choice, find your flow. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, travel to the top. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, shoulder stretch. Just one time this time. Inhale, sweep high. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold, left foot forward. Inhale, right foot back. Lower that knee down. So you need to wiggle walk that left foot forward so you can press nice and deep. Squeeze the thighs together. Inhale, lift up. Low crescent. Settle into that thigh for a couple of breaths. Stretching through that back hip flexor. See if you can lift the toes up for a second. Wiggle them. Good. Settle in a little bit deeper. Big breath in. Lengthen high. Breath out. Cactus. Deepen into that stretch. So sink into the hips. Squeeze those shoulders together. Imagine like if you're a gym rat usually that you're doing like a lat pull down. So you want to squeeze those shoulders in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hug. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, hands come down. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee up. Inhale, step back to your high plank. Exhale, flow through your way. Inhale, open up. Exhale, lift back. Deep breath in. Clear it out. Let's do that one more time. Big inhale. Let it go. Inhale, right leg high, 3-leg dog. Pause for a moment. Try to press the left heel towards the ground. Flex the right foot. Roll the pinky toe to face the ground. Big breath in, lift the heel high. Breath out, take the right hand, tap the right elbow. So shift the shoulders forward. Pause right here for a moment. Press away from the ground, round the spine. Inhale, sweep it up, lengthen high. Exhale, step it forward this time. So round spine, find some space, and then softly step the foot through. This time we're keeping that back knee lifted up. So find your active lunge here. Firm up through the thighs. Inhale, lift high. Come to your high crescent. Maybe have a little bit of wobbliness. It's still early. I know I'm feeling that a little bit myself. And keep a soft bend in that back knee if you need to have a little bit more support. If you feel like you have a lot of crunching in your low back. Pull the navel in. Reach up out of the hips. Maybe spiral those pinky fingers in slightly to find some engagement in your triceps. And then come a little bit deeper. All right, here's where it gets fun. It's gonna be a little bit challenging. Take it as your own. Inhale, slightly lift up and lengthen. Exhale, bend into the elbows, cactus, and bend that back knee. So double lunge here. You should feel that in that back hip flexor. Pause and hold. Inhale, reach up. 2 more times. Exhale, double lunge. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lunge. Good. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, back heel comes down. Open up to your warrior 2. Inhale, we're going to lengthen out that leg just for a second. Sweep it high. Exhale, open back up. All right, so now we can find that strength. We can settle in. So bend nice and deep into that front thigh. Open up the knee towards the pinky toe. This is our hip opener, our warrior 2. Press into the outer edge of your back foot. Keep that back leg as engaged as possible. Reach those arms open. Settle in. Come a little bit deeper. Challenge yourself. Every breath out, find a new edge. Last one here. All right, adding on. Inhale, extend forward, reach out. Exhale, right arm comes to your right thigh. Left arm higher, bicep alongside your extended side angle. We're still keeping that engagement in that back leg. Press into that foot. Reach up high. If you need to build on, you can. You can place the hand down to block or mat. You can find a half or a full bind. If you're staying with the arm on the thigh, make sure you're lifting away slightly. We want to make sure we're using our obliques here. Good. Roll the left shoulder back. Hug the shoulders together. You're reaching towards the ceiling. Imagine you want to touch the ceiling with the fingertips. We're here for 2. Last one. All right, we're going to get a little bit of relief. So with the inhale, we're going to press down. We're going to straighten the front leg. We're going to reach back. We're going to find our reverse triangle. So lengthening out that front side of our body. One long line from the toes to the fingertips. Full breath in. Good. With our breath out, we're going to come back to center. So keeping those legs nice and straight, the arms are out long. Good. Breath in. We're going to start to bump the hips back. And we're going to reach out long with the right arm. Exhale, backside of right palm to inner thigh, and left arm high, coming to our Trikonasana, our triangle pose. So try to stay lifted first, and then if you feel like you have space, then you can start to lower it down. But the moment that you find yourself collapsing towards the ground, lift that arm up a little bit. Using our obliques here, pulling the navel in, reaching with that top hand. You want to imagine you want to separate the body, so you're reaching out so much. One more breath here. All right, good. From here, we're going to start to bend into our front knee. Inhale, we're going to reach the hand back for your reverse warrior. So bend nice and deep here again. Reach up. See if you can come a little bit deeper. We've had that leg straight. So challenge yourself here. Back hip is light. Maybe wrap it behind the back for a half bind. Last breath in. Breath out, hands, waterfall down, frame the foot. Inhale, step the foot back, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra upward. Exhale, downward dog. Second side, inhale, left heel up. Pausing here. Flex the foot. Try to roll the outer hip down. Big breath in. Breath out, tap knee to elbow. Shift it forward, pause for a moment. Inhale, 3-leg dog. Exhale, step it forward lightly. Back heel is lifted. Heel high above the ball of the foot. Squeeze the glutes. Inhale, power up, high crescent. Keep that bend if you need it in that back knee. Does not have to be completely straight. Squeezing our glutes helps us to find stability in the hips. So if you're feeling a little wobbly, squeeze those glutes, hug the hips in towards each other, and then reach up towards the ceiling. Settle into that thigh. Adding on, full breath in, lengthen out. Breath out, cactus double lunge. So bend that back knee. Imagine that you just wanted to hover barely over the mat. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, bend. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, high crescent. Exhale, heel down, open up, warrior two. Inhale, extend. Exhale, settle. All right, now find that edge. Sink a little bit deeper here. I like to find little movements in and out of the thigh. That's gonna help if you're feeling that burn a little bit, right? Opening the knee up. Keep the torso right above the hips, so notice if you're leaning forward. Keep that torso stacked. Reaching out as much as possible with the fingertips, spreading the shoulder blades out wide. Come a little bit deeper. One more breath. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, left arm, left thigh. Right arm high or bicep alongside your extended side angle. Pressing into that outer edge of the back foot. Rolling the right shoulder back. Keeping that chest as open as possible. You can build on if you do on the other side when you're craving something else. Making sure we're not dumping all of our weight down into the thigh. Lift away slightly, even if you're shaking. I know I'm shaking a little bit. So you can lift those front toes and shake them, wiggle them a little bit. 2 more breaths. Don't lose that strong breath. Last one. Good. Inhale, straighten the leg. Reach the left hand back, reverse your triangle. Lengthening out the side body. Bump the hips towards the front of the room. And then reach up and back. This back hand is not pressing down on the leg. It's nice and light. Deep breath in. Breath out, arms come parallel. Good, preparing for our triangle. Inhale, press those hips back. Reach forward as much as you can. Exhale, backside of left palm to inner thigh and the right arm high. I always prefer that you start on the inner thigh and then you come down. It's a common misconception that a block is the easiest form of our triangle, our trikonasana, but actually having the hand on the inner thigh is going to be easier because when you're coming down to a block, it's really low and then it's more tempting to close that hip down. So if you stay lifted up, you can focus more on using your obliques in this posture. Reach the arms out, open up. Keep that breath. Last one. All right, from here, start to bend into the front knee. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Sweep the left hand back. Bend a little bit deeper. Press the knee open if it's tempted to cave in. You can always wrap the hand behind the back for the half bind. Sink deep. Fullest breath in. Breath out, frame the foot. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, flow through. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, lift the hips. Deep breath in. Side out. All right, so if you're familiar with my classes, you probably know what time it is. It's time for our breath to movement. That means we're gonna go a little bit faster. It's our cardio version of our yoga. So make sure you go at your own pace. You can always skip things if it's not feeling good for you. And just listen carefully, all right? So from our downward facing dog. Here we go, breath to movement. Inhale, right foot high. Exhale, tap the elbow. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, cactus double lunge. Inhale, reach. 2 more. Exhale, sink. Inhale, extend. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, high crescent. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse your triangle. Exhale, extend forward, come straight into your triangle pose. Inhale, bend the knee, sweep it back, reverse warrior. Exhale, plant the palms, find your flow. You can always lift a leg for a little bit extra if you're craving more. Inhale, left foot up. Exhale, tap elbow. Inhale, sweep high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, high crescent. Exhale, double lunge. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hug. Final one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, extend. Exhale, open up. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse, straighten. Exhale, triangle pose. Bump the hips back, reach out. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, waterfall down. Find your chaturanga. Meet in down dog. Full breath in. Let it out. We're going to do it one more time, but listen carefully. I'm going to modify just a little bit. Inhale, right foot up. Exhale, tap the elbow. Inhale, 3-leg dog. Exhale, step through. Inhale, power up. Exhale, double lunge just once. Inhale, reach. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, extend. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, triangle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, palms down, chaturanga, or just skip it. So if you're feeling over it, just step the foot back and lift the hips high to downward facing dog. All right, final side of breath to movement. Inhale, left heel up. Exhale, hug it forward. Inhale, extend. Exhale, step. Inhale, power. Exhale, cactus once. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open. Inhale, reach. Exhale, arm to thigh. Inhale, straighten, sweep. Exhale, bump the hips back. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep it back. Exhale, plant the palms. Final chaturanga of our practice. Final one, meet in down dog. Remember, you can always skip it. All right, we all get to down dog. We're gonna get rid of some of that heat. Deep breath in. Clear it out. Then the next one, stick out your tongue. Find your breath. Big inhale. Exhale, lion's breath. Make some noise. All right, from here, we're gonna use this to come down. Inhale, come forward to your high plank. And then with a breath out, you're gonna bend the elbows. We're gonna lower all the way. You're probably like plopping down, that's okay. You're like, I can't do this anymore. I understand. All right, take a second, reach the arms long beside you. I bring one cheek down to the mat and just feel the heart beat into the ground. It's probably beating pretty fast, right? Take some big breaths just to slow it down just slightly. So we don't want to slow it down all the way. Allow the shoulders to melt to the ground. And then switch over to the other cheek. Just for a couple of breaths. All right, forehead comes back to center. We're gonna work on a little bit more back bending. So palms are gonna face down. From here, we're gonna root through our pelvic area, right? Try to roll the shoulders back. Keep the gaze towards the ground. Take a breath out. And with a breath in, lift the arms up first. So just arms. Keep the feet rooted. Lift the chest up. Squeeze the shoulders together. Good. From here, if you want a little bit more, you can start to lift the feet up as well. So bring it all the way into our pelvic bone. Squeeze the hands together. Squeeze the shoulders together. Point the toes. Lift the heels up. Keep the gaze towards the ground. Nice long neck. 2 more breaths. With your breath in, lift up nice and high. Breath out, lower it down. Just for a moment, bring your cheek to the mat. Good, so we're going to build on from there. So bring the forehead back to center. This time reach the arms forward. So it's going to take a little bit more core work. Coming towards more of a Superman. So big breath out. And then the breath in, start to lift the arms up. Stay right here. If you want a little bit more, start to lift the feet up. Reach through the fingertips. Keep the gaze towards the ground. Lift up a little bit higher. Squeeze those shoulders together. Use every breath in to lift up a little bit higher. Final inhale. Exhale, lower. Bring the arms back beside you if you need to, and lower cheek down. All right, we're going to do one more round of those, okay? And then we're going to build on from there. So forehead goes back to center. Reach the arms forward. This is something that I did in a class that my sister taught. She's also a yoga teacher, runs in the family. Reach the arms forward, and I like this because it helps us get a little bit deeper. All right, so with a breath in, we're going to lift up into that Superman. You can stay right here, or we're going to guide you through a little bit of a heart opening, more heart opening. So with a big breath in, reach through the fingertips, and then the breath out, start to cactus the arms, squeeze them together. And just notice how that helps you lift your heart a little bit higher, right? Because it's helping you to engage the upper back. We're doing that a couple of times. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, squeeze. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Big breath in. Breath out, hug. Good. Inhale, reach. Exhale, plop it down. Oh, yeah. That was good, right? All right. Walk the arms in just a little bit. Make sure that the forearms are underneath you. So we're going to come into our little sphinx here. The elbows are below the shoulders. The arms are parallel to each other. And then just press away and open the chest. You can roll the shoulders back. Keep the chin towards the chest if you want a little bit more length in your neck. So if you want that nice neck stretch. And if you're feeling open to a bigger back bend, you can come towards your seal pose, where you'll just press into your palms and you start to lift your elbows up. So it's just a little bit deeper of a back bend. If this doesn't feel good to you, stay right here in your Sphinx pose. All right. From here, we're going to walk those hands back towards the shoulders. Inhale, we'll come up to a tabletop. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, meet in that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Pause right here for a second. We're just going to lengthen out our spines. We just did a lot of back bending. So walk the feet out to hips width apart. And bend the knees till the belly hits the thighs. Take the peacemaking fingers and wrap them around the big toes. And then just start to bend at the elbows and pull the head towards the ground. Find length in your spine. Keep the bend in your knees unless you feel like you have really open hamstrings. But you want to make sure the belly stays connected to the thighs the entire time. Try to release the muscles in the neck. Good. All right, from here we're going to release to our fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, so going to come through a couple of balance postures. Right, we're in that second half. We're taking out our chaturangas. So we're going to work on a little bit of our balance. We're going to start putting all the way into our left foot. Spread the toes out nice and wide if you can. From here, hands come to heart center. And then we're just going to lift the right knee up. So lift that knee up, one leg mountain pose. Nice 90-degree angle in the knee. Flex the foot so that the Toes are curling towards the shin. And then take a big breath in to prepare. And a breath out, start to lean forward. Reach the leg back, the chest comes forward, coming into our warrior three. So warrior three, you're pressing the heel towards the back of the room, you're rolling the hip down, pinky toe faces the mat. I'm gonna give options to build on here to do a little bit of back bending. So if you want to, and you feel ready, you can reach the arms forward, pausing with a breath in. And the breath out, start to cactus the arms. So really similar to what we did when we were on the ground, right? Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, squeeze. Keep the gaze in a moving point. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hug. Good. This time, inhale forward. And then we're going to step that foot down. We're going to take a second to shake it up. We're going to do one more balance on that side. So placing all the way back into our left foot. This time we're going to place our right hand out. So you can keep the left hand on the hip, you can have it at heart center, but place the right hand out like you're serving something up on a platter, and you don't want to drop that platter. From here, start to bend through the right foot, grab the inside edge of the foot. So we're going to stay here at first, finding that nice quad stretch. This should be really good in your right quad. And you can stay here if this feels good. I'm going to give you an option to build on to come into a back bend. So we're going to take a breath in to prepare. Big breath out. Option from here, you can reach the arm forward, big breath in. And then the breath out, start to press the foot into the hand, and chest is going to come forward, coming to your dancer's pose. Keep the gaze forward but down, making sure that you're keeping your gaze at your unmoving point. Try to press the foot into the hand as much as possible to lift that foot up. Reaching forward with the left fingertips. Press the foot into the hand a little bit more. Last full breath. Good, slowly come forward and come out and shake it out. All right, one more side of our balance. Rooting this time through our right foot, hands at heart center. Lift the left knee up, one leg mountain. Gaze at the ground for support. Deep breath in to prepare. Breath out, hinge forward. Sweep that leg back, warrior three. Toes point towards the ground, but lift the heel up by squeezing the glute. Roll the shoulders back, little upward facing dog with the chest. And an option build on. You can stay here if this is good. Inhale, reach out if you want to. Exhale, cactus arms. It's going to balance our challenge here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hug. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Almost there. Last one. Big breath in. Breath out, cactus. Inhale, come forward. And then we're just going to come back out. Shake it out. I'm going to probably screen a little bit in that outer hip. Just we take a second in between. Okay, root back down through that right foot. Hand can be on hip or heart. Left hand comes out. Bend through the left knee. Grab the foot. Stay right here first. So just feeling this nice quad stretch. Try to squeeze the glute. The more you squeeze, the more you're going to feel that stretch here in your quad. You can stay right here. I'm going to give you an option to build onto a back bend. So with the breath in, we're going to reach the arm forward. And the breath out, you're going to press the foot into the hand and you're going to come towards that dancers. I know I, for one, have been having some problems in my shoulder on that side, so I'm not going to go as deep on this side. And probably a lot of you have one side that's a little bit better than the other, and that's more than okay. Keep soft bending your right knee for support. Reach forward with the fingertips. Last one. Good. Slowly come out. Shake it out. Whew. All right. Find any movements that you might need. My shoulders are hurting a little bit because, like I said, I've just been having a little bit of an injury. That's okay. Just making sure that I'm listening to my body, right? I'm not pushing it further than it needs to go. So from our standing here, we're going to inhale to reach the hands high. See how much time we have. Exhale, fold forward. That's going to depend on what we do here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Pausing in that fold. So we're going to come a little bit deeper into that spine lengthening. So from here, we're going to, you can either take the peacemaking fingers once again, or if you want to come further, you can take the hands and you can start to slide them underneath the feet, coming to your gorilla pose or your Pada Hastasana. So try to tickle the wrists with the toes and place the weight forward into the toes and out of the heels. Keep the bend in the knees. Remember, we want the belly on our thigh. And then reach down with the crown of the head. Alright, slowly come out from here. Alright, from here we're going to keep our right foot forward with the breath, and we're going to step that left foot back. So coming into our lunge. And then just wiggle walk the right foot out to the outer edge of the mat. So hands are on the inside, foot is on the outside. We're going to stay active just for a couple of breaths here, right? So just a few active breaths, keeping that knee high. If you need to, you can lower the knee down if that feels better. Press the right knee into the arm. Press away from the ground, strengthen the shoulders. We're here for 3, 2, last breath in, and a breath out, lower the knee down. Untuck the toes. So you want to untuck the toes here, making sure that you're reaching that foot back. So we're using this to target that hip flexor. So we want to open up our hip flexor. You can stay right here. If you have a block, you can test out maybe coming a little bit lower, lowering the forearms down to a block. And we're going to hold for a few breaths. If it feels good, you can always roll out onto the outer edge of the foot as well, just to open up that hip. So just seeing what feels best for you and then finding that area. Maybe if you don't have any props, and that's okay. If you stay on your hands, you're still going to get a great stretch if you can't quite go all the way down to the ground. You can also test out just doing one arm down and one arm up if you can't quite get both down. So just kind of seeing where we're at. If you're opening up to the outer edge of the foot, make sure that you're curling the toes towards the shin. We want to protect our ankle here. If you want to stay here, you can. We have the option to go towards a quad stretch. So if you want to come towards your quad stretch, walk up onto the palms. We're going to place the left hand slightly in front of the shoulder. We're going to take the right hand and we're going to start to open up towards that right leg. So you can stay right here. This is a really nice way just to stretch the hips. Maybe you bring the hand to the sacrum. If you're feeling open for it, you can try for that quad stretch. If you have a towel or anything else, like a t-shirt or something, you can also use that here to wrap that foot. But if you can grab for that foot, start to bend into the knee and place the foot into the hand. Press the foot into the hand, stretch that quad. Like I said, if you have a t-shirt or anything like that, scarf or a towel, you can use that as well. And no pressure to come here. If you want to stay in your traditional lizard pose, you can stay there as well. Just a couple of breaths. Last one. Good, slowly release. Hands come back to center. Walk the foot in. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee, look forward, and step up to the top of the mat. Come to your forward fold. Whew, take a second, we need to kind of shake it out, then into one knee, then the other. And then we're going to switch sides. So keep that left foot forward, step the right foot back, and walk the left foot to the outer edge. Couple breaths active. So press the knee towards the arm. Lift that back knee nice and high towards the ceiling. Engage that back thigh. We're here for 3, 2. Last big breath. And a breath out, lower it down. Untuck those toes. So you can walk the foot a little bit further back or walk that left foot a little bit further forward. We also want to make sure the knee's not coming in front of the ankle, just like when we are in our normal crescent lunges, right? So maybe walk that foot up if you need to. Stay right here, move further. So you can stay here, you can grab the block like you did on the other side, and maybe lower down one arm or the other if you don't have a block. It's okay to just stay up on the palms. No need to go any further here. If it feels good, like I like to do it, I like to roll it onto the outer edge of the foot. I just find it helps me to open up my hips a little bit more and puts a little bit less pressure on my knee. I have knee problems. I had knee surgery in high school, and I still feel that to this day. So I definitely like to find ways to release the pressure on my knees. So that's where this comes in for me. I always like to stress, and you probably hear me saying this in almost every one of my classes, that we're all going to look different in postures. It's okay to not be taking the same variation as someone else, and it's okay to look a little bit different. We all have different bodies. We're all struggling with something different in our bodies. We all have different pains, different injuries, different tightness. So just making sure that you're not comparing yourself to anyone else. And that's what's really great about practicing from home, I guess, is there's no one to compare yourself to. You can focus more on you and your body and how you are feeling. If you want to find that quad stretch and you went lower, walk it up. Place the right hand slightly in front of the shoulder. Take the left hand to the thigh. Stay right here if you just want to stay right here. Maybe place the hand on the sacrum. If you want to find that quad stretch, using a prop if you need to, bend the knee and grab for the foot. And then press the foot into the hand. So the more you press the foot into the hand, the more of a stretch you're going to feel here. And sink the hips down towards the ground. I know this feels really good for my quads. I feel like they're kind of tight. I've been doing a lot of HIIT classes, and in HIIT classes, we work our legs a lot, so I feel like my quads are feeling a little bit tight here. One more. If you took the quad stretch, release, come back to center. Foot comes in, hands come out, tuck the toes, lift the knee, and walk yourself forward to your forward fold. Ooh. I know my hips are feeling a little bit gummy from all that stretching. A little bit wobbly. And shake it out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. From here, we're just going to bend the knees. And we're going to sit the hips down to the ground. So sit all the way down. And we're going to do a little bit more back bending before we bring it all the way down and start to prepare for our rest. We're going to use our core to get down, so place the hands on the backs of the thighs to begin, and lift the shins up, come to your boat pose. So boat pose, rolling shoulders back, we're keeping that chest nice and open. If you want a little bit more, you can reach the arms forward. This just adds a little bit more of a challenge here. Open up the chest, reach open, deep breath in. And with the breath out, stay right here. All right. Inhale, we're going to lower to that low boat. So lower to the low boat. Exhale, we're going to come back up to our high boat. A couple more times. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Good. This time, inhale, come down to your low boat. We're going to hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down. All right, one more little set of back bending here. So walk the feet in towards the glutes. If you're a regular practitioner, you probably kind of know where we're going at this point. Keep the heels close enough that maybe you can just slightly tickle them with the fingertips. So you don't want them too close to the glutes, right? We just want to be able to just tickle them. All right, we're going to do our bridge pose first a couple times. And then I'm going to give you options to build. So take a breath out. And then breath in, squeeze the glutes, press into the feet, and start to lift the hips up for bridge. We're pausing here. If you want a little bit more, you can roll the shoulders underneath you and then release the hands underneath you. Just a little bit more of a way to open the heart. Keep the chin towards the chest, lengthen out through the neck, and don't look off to either side here. Lift the hips up, squeeze the glutes. And now you might see why it's important to open the quads and the hip flexors, because here we're pressing those up towards the ceiling. One more inhale. Exhale, lower. All right, one more bridge. Take a breath out. Inhale, lift. Pausing here, squeeze the glutes. It's going to help you lift the hips up a little bit higher. Big breath in. Breath out, lower. All right, you can come to a supported bridge if that feels better for you. If you want to come a little bit further, I'm going to give you the option to come into wheel pose. And I'm also just going to demo that for you here. So in our wheel pose, we're going to keep our feet towards our glutes. If you want to come towards bridge, go ahead and come towards bridge, all right? And I'm going to show you wheel. You're going to place the hands next to the head. Fingertips are pointing towards the shoulders. Pressing down through the hands. You can come to the head first. So this is just a nice way to get halfway to our wheel. And then from here, if you press down through the feet and the hands, you're going to lift up for that wheel. If you want bridge, come into bridge here. Squeeze the glutes, hold it here. If you want wheel, come into wheel. In our wheel, we're gonna press through the chest. So press the chest to open up the heart. Place that weight into the hands. One more breath in. And then breath out. We're gonna bend the elbows. We're gonna slowly lower all the way back down. Nice and slow. If you're in bridge, lower it down. We're gonna do one more. I'm gonna switch over this way. Just gonna give you a different perspective if you couldn't quite see me on that side, or maybe you can see something different on this side. So we're gonna do either bridge or wheel one more time. So take a breath out. And then with a breath in, come up, bridge or wheel. Your choice. Remember, wheel pose, it's kind of also a shoulder stretch, so try to press into those shoulders. Open up the chest, roll the shoulders back. So just notice the difference when I'm coming back and then when I'm pressing forward. So we want to try to press forward. Last breath in. And breath out, lower all the way back down. Woo. All right, I don't know about you, Mom smoked a little bit. All right, take some windshield wipers back and forth with the knees. Shake it out. And then pull the knees into the chest. We did all the hard stuff, so now we're just going to slow it down, coming towards our Shavasana. If you're craving a happy baby, you can grab the shins, the ankles, or the feet, and pull the knees open, and rock back and forth. Find that nice little hip stretch. And then come back to center. Pull the knees in. And we're going to keep the right knee in. We're going to lengthen out through that left leg. So right knee hugs in, left leg comes out long. Pulling the knee towards the chest or maybe out towards the armpit. You can point and flex the foot, stretching the ankle. And then hug that knee in just a little bit more. Stay here with the breath in. With a breath out, start to cross the knee over the body for your supine twist. So bump the hips over towards the right. Reach the right arm nice and long. And then lower the knee down. So we don't want the knee all the way down on the ground if it lifts our shoulder up. It's more important to have the shoulder down than the knee. So it's okay to have that knee lifted. You can always grab something like a block or a blanket and place it underneath the knee if you need some support here as well. You can bring the gaze over the right shoulder. You want a little bit more of a twist. And we're slowing everything down here. So no more engagement as we come towards our final resting posture. We want to slow down the breath, slow down the heart rate, and slow down the mind. And then come back to center for a moment. Squeeze both the knees in just to neutralize. If you use something under the knee, you can switch over to the other side. And then keep the left knee in. Allow the right leg to come out long. Squeeze it nice and tight. Open it up, maybe taking some movements with the foot. Big breath in. Breath out, cross it over. Bump the hips over. Maybe grabbing that prop if you need it to place under the knee. Reaching through the left arm. Remember, shoulder down, not the knee. Unless you can do both. Then you're really stretchy. But if you're like me, it's a little bit difficult. Shoulder is down, knee is not. Supine twist is my favorite way to end a practice. I feel like it just helps you wring everything out and prepare the body to rest. back to center. Pull both the knees in and round into a tight little ball. So arms are gonna come around the shins, nose comes up to the knees. Engage every little muscle here, so squeeze it all in nice and tight. Pull the navel towards the spine. We're gonna end with a final breath. We're gonna hold the breath at the top. So deepest breath in yet. Hold. Try to take one more little sip of air in. Exhale, open up. Shavasana. Take up as much space as you need here. Arms come out wide, legs come wide. I like to take lots of space in my Shavasana. Helps me get nice and comfortable. Has a hold here for a couple of minutes. And then give yourself permission here to let go. To give in to the rest, the relaxation. To release everything that we just did in our practice. And I'll call you back when it's time. Slowly allow your awareness to return to your body. Notice if you benefit from a few more moments in your Shavasana. You're welcome to stay here as long as you would like. If you're ready to reawaken, start to bring little movements into the body, starting at the fingers and the toes. Reach the arms long above you for a full body stretch. Pull the knees in and roll onto either side to a fetal position. Use the bicep as a pillow for your head. Then making your way to your comfortable seat in your own time, facing towards the front of whatever room you're in. Place the hands at heart center, eyes are closed, or gaze is soft towards the ground. Release all the air from your lungs. Fullest breath in yet. Clear it out. Taking a moment to show yourself gratitude for taking time out of your day to show up on your mat, for taking time for your practice, and most importantly, for taking time for you. Show gratitude to all those who are practicing beside you in their own homes. And I'm grateful that you all decided to join me. From my heart to each and every one of yours, namaste. Thank you all for joining me. Hopefully this is a great start to your weekend. I hope you all enjoy the weekend, and thank you so much for supporting us. If you enjoyed the class and you would like to support us financially, there are ways to donate. You can do it through Venmo or MindBody, and both those links are on our Facebook if you want to find them. Thank you again for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful day. My name is Melissa, and this is Shangri-La Hot Yoga.